I've been doing this for 46 years. I didn't realize that until the other day we were talking. I was like, oh my God, I am the oldest professional over here where I work. I work for the
Oh,
state
that's
of
great.
Texas. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that has some
but
weight to it.
I was always passionate about anatomy. You see, I was very like I dug into it when I was studying, and so when I started with this in 2017 when they first came out, I was like, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
let's look at those X-rays.
Yeah, that's
And I was like,
amazing to think that that was 7 years ago. And I'm like so excited right now, and to think like, oh my God, this has been around. You know, you feel like
yeah, you know what, Ed, this is gonna blow out of proportion the moment, because I didn't realize that a few days ago I was watching Ruiz Mantilla, the reporter from
yeah,
Peru,
yeah.
and it's from 100 to 150 bodies.
It's might be even more. You know, I
I
tried
mean,
to put a team together to go visit the bodies, but
you
my professionals think I'm crazy.
I want to do that. I want to do that. I mean,
I used to be friends with this guy who's real. He's kind of famous. He's a young paleontologist, and he was featured on Attenborough's BBC show. And I keep bugging him with text messages, and he's just ghosted me at this point.
oh, of
So
course.
I'm just
How dare
wondering
you?
I'm wondering at what point is it going to finally hit him? You know?
Yeah. Look, and I mean, you can see the neurological plexus of the nerves, you see, and then also vascular structure. So you can see the esophagus. Okay, so it's anatomically, how we call it, anatomically coherent. Okay, even the fingers, your fingers, you have to have the bone. One side is round and the other one is concave and the other one is convex. Okay, so like your fingers are like that. So when you look at their fingers, it's like oh my God. So it's amazing how they brought the awarded forensic physician for this conference.
Yeah.
From United States, from I think
McDowell.
Yes.
Yeah, he's from Colorado currently, I think he's right.
Yeah, I mean, 150. Come on, whoever calls that, oh, they were fake and put together. Oh,
how many do these fake? But you know what? I want to bring up. We got to stop fighting these people too. It's just because we keep fighting these people who keep saying fake. Even like Masson, I was like, you know what? I was thinking as he was talking at the last conference, don't even address these people anymore. Don't defend yourself anymore.
I agree.
It's just the facts right now. This is what we got.
Yeah.
And anything else is just superfluous and usually some sort of ad hominem attack on somebody, which it's just low, it's dirty fighting, you might say.
Yes. Enough of this, right? Just move on with all the findings that you're going to have from here on. I mean, it was amazing to see that there is the fetus inside the womb. And also, of course, because mainstream archaeology, mainstream, they don't, my God, they're like, are you kidding? Of course, it's hard to believe. But look
one of my things is, that's my background, of course, anthropology and archaeology. And one of my things is that we find these similarities between cultures, but a lot of times the similarities are displaced by great physical distances or great periods of time. They're temporally distant, but yet we still find these similarities. And so anthropologists, archaeologists are forced to say, oh, it's coincidence, or it's independent innovation, they call it. And I'm at the point now, it's like, well, we have new evidence, the bodies, we have the evidence of the bodies. And so it's time to rethink all of these paradigms that we'd say were coincidence or independent innovation. And there's clearly a cultural link. So I don't know if somebody's telling the same story over and over again, or if there's literally different populations of, tutory beings. This is what they're called in the history books. They're called tutory beings, the ones that taught us. So did they teach the same stories? That part I don't know. We're not quite there yet. But there's clearly a link when I'm seeing cordiform shaped heads in trinities of cordiform shaped heads in Borneo. Right. So that's I was going to say we need to propose a new cultural area called Circum-Pacific, because clearly there's Asian, Oceania, and there's the Americas, and we're seeing this similarity in the DNA now, right?
Yes,
right? We have DNA from the homeland of the Nagas showing up in South America.
How about that?
And we've always had this anomaly of the sweet potato, which it can only mean one thing, that there is definite trade or movement of people from the Americas through Oceania. So we have these two things. And then, of course, now we're starting to see all the strange cultural similarities in serpent people and underground and subterranean religious significance. So it's getting interesting, man. it's interesting.
This civilization, whatever it is that you call, there's something else I was going to tell you about that, talk to you about that. They had some kind of technology, they had scientific knowledge, because you know how long it took for the medical profession to finally find exactly composition of metals that our bodies won't reject.
Oh.
To use in prostheses of hip replacement and all that. It took time, years.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
And then the guys are using like gold, and then they found it's incredible. It's it's amazing. Really,
and what's wild too is, we used to see all these depictions of circular or shapes on so many different artifacts, and we used to think, okay, that's a stylized version of breasts, right? That's an obvious conclusion. But now we see that the beings actually had perfectly circular implants on them, and it's like you say, cordiform head, check, tridactyl hands, check, right? And it just the checks keep going. If you're looking at artifacts, keep your eyes open for that spiral. I think that spiral in not so many words means water serpent is water serpent mother. That's what the spiral means. If you're looking at thousands of these pictures over time, that's my professional my professional dissertation, whatever that's worth, right?
The other day I was thinking, imagine places like Egypt and like other archaeological places in the world, like these governments, if they want to hide, they will hide. You'll never find out about this ever.
But have you seen the one statue I posted of Thoth-Amon, the ram-headed god?
No, I haven't.
He's sort of engulfing a smaller statue of the pharaoh. And then there's another one of a raw hawk, and it's right on the back of the guy's head of the statue. And it just seems like these are just clear representations of something of a power beyond the scenes.
Power beyond the scene, yes.
Yeah. And so if they've been doing that since then maybe that's their gig. And they just jump around from empire to empire, and who knows, maybe it's their fault when they go down. I don't know.
You heard of Brian Foster, right?
The name sounds familiar.
He has a channel, he sells books, and he takes people to Egypt, and he was the one that went after the elongated skulls, the skeletons that they found. They found a cavern over there with bodies and bodies and bodies. I think that they killed everybody that was different than them. The Incas did, or some other civilization didn't like them. But here's the thing. Mainstream archaeology never called them a different species. See, they should. They have different DNA genetic load, and they have different differences, anatomical differences that are very consistent to each skeleton. They found this skull, okay, and they found them all over the world. They were all over the world. How come you're not going to treat that as a different species? They never included that.
The only thing about that is, it's like, when does a species become another species? And I like to use Homo habilis as an example. The only reason Homo habilis is not Australopithecus is because of evidence of tool use. So with that one little thing of tool use, we get a whole new genus. And then we talk species, the big myth of the old days was the Neanderthal went extinct. Now, here's one of those things that I like to think I was ahead of my time. Instinctually, I inferred, I'm like, I don't think they went extinct. And what happens? Science catches up. And sure enough, it turns out we have Neanderthal DNA. So I'm just using that as an example. It's like, when is it a species and a subspecies? When is it a whole new genus even? It gets very convoluted. I've had to explain to certain people of religious fundamentalists. And it's like, well, how you're saying we were from monkeys? I'm like, no, I'm not saying we're from monkeys. But I like to put it this way, is that everything on planet Earth is related, man. Everything. It's just various degrees of relation as you go back in time. So what time is it a species or a sub? When is it a poodle and when is it a wolf?
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. The other day I was thinking about those findings and how come. That's what I was gonna tell you. I'm back and forth. I text through Facebook with Thierry Jamin. He was the guy that they brought the first samples to him, okay? And he was all over in Peru. Like, he investigated other things, and he was doing this a long time. And then that happened. They brought that to him, okay? And I asked him the other day, did you ever get to visit the tombs where they are found? At the beginning, like years ago, he said no, because this guy won't take me over there. He won't take me over there. Last year, he texted me, I finally did. Oh my God, you're not gonna believe I went there. And there's so many others, and he texts me, and then I asked him, send me a picture. He never sent me a picture.
Of course. I'm glad you asked. At least
they're keeping that very secret. Because I told him, look, you don't take a picture from the outside, because any person can go over there.
That's right.
And look for it, and they'll find it. And
keep in mind too, I don't know what the whole the technology is, but sometimes the pictures have embedded locations too, though.
Oh my God, that's so true. Yeah. Because
someone might be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I told him, go inside and take pictures. Oh, I will never find out what it is. But now you're saying right there, the method.
Take it with a Polaroid.
Yeah, that's right.
Polaroid.
What he told me was, I can tell you now. He says that there is a lot of. Oh my God, there is a lot of rooms. And let me see what the expression that he used. It says that there is a lot of rooms in, because he's communicating in Spanish with me, so.
So you're translating in real time there. Well, that's great that you're in contact with him, though. That's excellent. I've actually, I've tried to put a team together. Unfortunately, I can't go by myself. I'm just not that qualified.
Well, let's find a way. I mean, what I told him is that I'm gonna make an effort until the end of this year, or maybe the beginning of the next one, and then I'm gonna go, because my mom is still alive, and I'm from the southmost state in Brazil. I'm from Porto Alegre, almost border with Argentina and Uruguay, and then my mom is 92.
Wow, 92, amazing.
Yeah. So I go visit her, and then my brother as well, my oldest brother. And so I thought, maybe I'll go over there, and then I'll travel to Cusco. Who knows? And that would be a great.
Yeah, sure.
And then I told him, look, man, when I go over there, let's talk and meet. I'm pretty sure he'll show me whatever he's got, because.
Yeah, I've also contacted Alien Project too, and try to let them know if they need anything, I could help, or I'm here for educational purposes, and so I want to get this word out.
You're a great guy, because you're very open-minded. I love to talk to you about that. Very open-minded. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so if I get in touch with him, receive us over there, and then
that would be great.
That would
Now,
be
did you
great.
see this? Did you see what I have here?
Oh, that's a 3D print of a head. That is awesome.
Now, isn't that cool?
Is that Josephine?
I think it is Josephine, technically. Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's fun holding it because there was a couple of things I was able to feel that you can't really see it too well, but you can lightly. There's the cranial ridge here, and there's another cranial ridge here, which these bone structures creates this dip here. And if you look up, there's a Japanese mythological creature called the kappa. And it collects water in the middle of its head. So now I keep wondering, like, why is there an association of the heart? I believe, of course, that the heart symbol, your heart emoji that you see on your text messages, and Valentine's Day every year is inspired by these creatures' heads. And the fact that these faces are associated with Mother Goddess symbolism.
They like to say that they know, of course, small son likes to say that they are extraterrestrials. Well, my friend, to this day, there is no evidence whatsoever that they came from other place.
I've given the nickname terrestrials. Terrestrials, like as in the city of Sumer, they're early terrestrials, first terrestrials, original terrestrials, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, you see, you can't really say that, but you never know. What I can tell is this: their anatomical structure is very fragile. Okay, it's super fragile. Like they're very, and it looks like they were like an accident of nature. I'm saying that because we are very very carefully engineered. Okay, like when you study anatomy of the hand, it's just a marvelous thing to see the way it is. It's almost like you don't believe that was a nature thing. You see, like you have one tendon running.
Well, now it's making science is making me a believer now in creationism, because all these myths lead back to beings being invested in the creation of man. And so you can't help but think, well, who created these things? And, are they some sort of intermediary between, realms? I don't know what you call them. I hate to use terms like, interdimensional travel. It's like, I don't know about interdimension. All I know about is this dimension. Yeah. And here they are in this dimension,
The only thing that was found that they could say, well, wait a minute, that does not look, it looks like it could be something else, but that was the only thing that they found. Let me show you. I have to file. Okay, I can show you stuff here. I didn't put together, but I separated some stuff. You saw the latest editions of pictures, right, on the channel. The Alien Project,
maybe.
Yeah, Montserrat and he called a different name as well. The name the Makuri or Nukari.
Oh, Nukari is the little the little bent one.
Yeah. So
with the appendages, I believe, right?
Let me open over here real quick. It's what it says present on the bottom.
So many different specimens now. It's just
so the only thing that
but they owe us a giant still, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
They owe us a giant. They promised us a giant. I want a giant. There we go.
That sculpted rock they found in the tomb. Okay.
Okay.
It still has the diatomea on it, which is the powder, right? So that's weird because it looks like a space craft with windows or something. And this one over here as well. In the bottom, you have like 3 round. You see those things down there? They're like 3 round structures, with this groove around. So it also looks like a flying disc or whatever. That was in the tomb. This one over here, they found in the tomb as well.
Really?
tells you something, right? Elongated skull, yeah. And they found a lot of little. They describe it. There is a documentary. I don't know if you know that. Actually, I bought a long time ago. It's a doc that it tells everything, how they found it and how the tomb was, the rooms and like the big box that they open up and they found in the middle of the powder all these skeletons and structures. And they found all those rocks over there too. And then they said that the walls were sculpted and they had a bunch of red stones plugged into the walls all over the place. They said that. Yeah. And so the other
interesting.
And also they found this over here, which it seems like the ridges that you're talking about before that you showed me on the head right there. And you see right there on the top of the head, right? It looks like a big ridge over here on top.
Absolutely.
And there's two on top of the head there. So, who would do that? It looks nice, actually. It looks like, all the stuff they found over there. In the movie, you can see they go over this too.
Wow, yeah.
And this is the Nucaris that they found as well. That in one of the Actually, there is a movie. I don't know if you ever heard of the Nurea TV. It's a French.
No. Now, is this Nukari or is I can't? Nukari. How do you tell the difference between Nukari and Surya? Is that her name? Suya? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know about the other one.
Yeah, there's the other one because I thought it was like Surya or something was her name.
See, if you take X-rays of this one, you're gonna see that you're like, oh my God, you can't believe it looks like an insect, right? With big, we call it.
Yeah, but I mean, the only thing is about being an insect, it doesn't have insect features. That doesn't have 6 limbs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's holding the eggs. There are eggs over there on this one as well too. On the X-ray, apparently.
Yeah, that's why when they call them like new species, I think they're all subspecies of one another, subspecies and hybrids.
This new,
because obviously the skull structure is the same, right?
Yeah,
and it's tridactyl like the other ones also.
Yeah.
So I don't know if insectoid is the proper word they should be using for something like that. Are these insectoids too? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love this one because of the
impressive
the logo on the head there.
The gold on the forehead. Imagine those people that wants to sell for money. I mean, golly, that would be like a godsend for them if they find what it's
and then you sell the whole thing together, right?
Here's the difference, Ed. Like this one, it's got also a fibula and a tibia, like that belongs like the same of us.
So we've evolved now.
An ulnar and a radial also on the arms.
Right. So it's moved past the little ones.
But 3 fingers.
But 3 fingers and 3 toes, nonetheless.
Yeah. You can't fake that, my friend. You can't. I mean,
those 2 facts tell you right there. This is a hybrid, clearly, between humans and the smaller beings.
And that's another picture of the Nukari. That's weird. I mean, I think it would be so scary to see a creature like that
alive
walking around. Walking must be a weird gait, Wow, and like to see the head very close up.
Now I heard someone saying that they think this might be a juvenile. I don't know. I'm like, is it a juvenile or is it or is it a queen?
You can tell by the skull because Montserrat, the plates of the skull that we call, they are separated still. So it still has to grow to connect. That's how you can tell they're young. We only close ours around when we get to 20 years old, completely closed. That's how they know you're no longer a teenager. This is the poster of the documentary. If you want to.
Yes. And it's funny because after I ran with the name Tridactyls, I then found this poster afterwards. And I was like, okay, good. I'm on the right track calling them Tridactyls.
I like the creativity there. I like it.
And what's funny, I ended up researching that letter that they have there, that it's called the Algiz letter, and it looks like their limb, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's an Algese rune.
Oh yeah. Huh. You know what's interesting is that those let me finish this over here first to show you. That is another new one that they brought together as well. Okay. The forensic physician, one of the forensic physicians that did examination, he said that they would not, that species or whatever it is that we call them, they didn't have chewing capabilities. They would just suction. So what was it that they were living off? I don't know. But the other ones, they have teeth. Montserrat has beautiful teeth.
Right, of course.
In fact, the doctors are like, wow, their teeth are just amazing. You know, so they can tell.
I also like to come up with crazy speculative theories. So my crazy speculative theory is that maybe those beings taught us about kissing via regurgitation. You know, that's the theory that where kissing develops from in humans. Is that something to do with the chewing of food passing it on to others?
How about that? Yeah. You see, this one over here has got plates of metal or some kind of in the abdomen and also up on the chest right there.
Yeah, but everyone's going to ask, were they drinking blood? Is that what the human sacrifices were for?
Right. Imagine this. Imagine that there are places in Peru that you see their drawings all over the place. The three-finger creatures, you know, imagine that for them, it would be like, man, this is going to come out. I mean, they're going to keep bringing those bodies out.
They're going to keep bringing out bodies, and they're going to keep getting weirder.
The press is eventually not going to be able to hold back.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to hold back because there's just too many of them and too many.
Yeah.
Who knows what cultural artifacts are associated with them?
And they're going to say, look, I know that guy has this Facebook post over there.
You don't know. That's why I try to put out, you know, the theories I have, because
you're going to get a lot of hits. So I don't know if you can see there.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's one of the HD tomography that they did. And this one, she has gold plates on the forehead and one on the top of the head as well, too. And the hip is very, very similar to ours. Oh, my God. Yeah. The femur. Look, it's got a femoral neck. It's just so good. The humerus is it's got, you know, just like we have the tuberosities over here distally. It's just amazing. The difference that it's got 3 fingers.
Yeah.
See, the sacrum.
It's like a minor detail and a major detail at the same time, isn't it?
That's right.
There's a minor detail. There's 3 fingers, which also happens to be a really big deal.
You know, it bothers me that this Brian Foster, when they first brought this and they were showing to him, he came out saying that they were fake. And I was like, boy, don't do that. You have your entire life working on the elongated skulls, and they were doing that to you. Oh, I wanted to show you this one, Ed.
That's interesting. That's possible, right? The ego.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that this individual was like sitting with the head facing down, almost touching on the top of the knees. And the reason how you know that, some doctors make that observation, I was like, well, that's true, is because the encephalic mass, like the brain mass that dried out, is located right here. I don't know if you can see it inside the skull. When we die, like the brain dries out, it gets very small, and because it dries, right? So here is the brain mass is located on the, see how the head is turned over a little to the right side. So all the mass is positioned. Imagine all those ears on that position. Once it dries, it makes sense. You see, it's positioned right there. See? Yeah, front and the side.
Yeah, and like you said, those heads are just found all over the place. And if they weren't genetically created, they were modified intentionally as copycat cargo cults, as they call them, right?
Yeah, the one of the top hand reconstruction surgeons of Peru. I saw the when he was examining Maria, and he declared this is not fake. This is not put together. Nothing. That she was a real person. A real live organism. And that was
Yeah.
awesome. Let me
Yeah,
see
so
if
we
I
went
can.
from having eggs to having fetuses. That is
That's something, right?
that's a huge leap. I keep saying I expect the eggs. I expect not to see the development of rear limbs or maybe even forelimbs. We'll have to see if I'm right on that one.
Yeah, and you were like, well, I don't know if you saw that. So let me play that. It's fast, but anyway, I thought it was interesting. There was another. I don't know the name of this one. It's one of the smaller ones. Oh, that's Santiago. Okay.
Santiago, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how interesting, huh? I saw someone had a 3D printed Maria.
Oh,
That was
yeah?
pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Have you
Yeah.
been seeing any of these Hong Shang artifacts I've been showing?
All right. Let me see. What is that?
This is a supposed Hong Shang artifact. I need to probably focus on that a little bit. There we go. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, where did you get this?
Well, from a guy, from somebody supposedly selling Hong Shang artifacts. I don't know how true it is. It has some good weight to it. But this is my my theory as to what the Nagas of Southeast Asia may have looked like.
From India, right?
Before they were tridactyls, I think they have some sort of preliminary stage like this. That's my wild speculative theory there.
Who came up with the who draw that for you? That's so cool.
Which one? This guy down here, the little guys?
The little guys, yeah.
Yeah, look at here. I can even.
Did you do that?
I did not draw it. Originally, it was my idea. So I tried to influence it that way. But it was a artist, and then my girlfriend contributed with some of my guidance.
So cool.
Yeah, isn't he fun?
I love him.
We're calling him Inti, which is the sun god of the Incas, Inti.
Yeah, yeah. So
that's his nickname.
I keep thinking, like, how was it that the Incas were looking at them? Like, can you imagine how scary it must have been? And I don't know, let's kill them or let's bring them, invite them in because they're gods or whatever.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. And how did this happen all over the world? Is that why temples are built over subterranean passageways and underground waterways?
Right. How was it that the Incas had that technology to bring the water? Oh boy, they would bring the water from miles away, and there are things that are unexplained to this day. They can't explain how was it that they knew that?
All of history has to be reevaluated. And we have the right to. I always say I have the right to speculate now because we have the bodies. I'm convinced that they are authentic after what I've seen. Obviously, they haven't published a scientific paper yet, but I'm convinced enough to for me to personally make the connection between these cultural artifacts that are found all over the world, from the Dogu of Japan to the Permian bronze animal style of Europe, the eye idols of Syria, the Haitiki of the Maori, Bella Kula petroglyphs, Taino petroglyphs. I mean, it's a worldwide phenomenon, and that's what people need to realize.
Do you remember seeing this sculpture, wall sculpture that they have in Egypt? It's Akhenaten with his wife and the three little children. That amazing. They all have a huge skull.
Yeah, and they're all like kind of thin and wispy, right?
Yeah. So like you start.
I said too, it almost looked like they were replicating the pregnant pouch that the egg carriers have. Yeah.
I mean, you can't help it but to like, well, wait a minute, that's just, it looks like this or it looks like that, So it upsets me that the elongated skulls it was ignored to this day. And
Me too. I mean, I was taught to ignore it, basically. We as, anthropology students are taught to ignore those things and to say that it was purely coincidental and it was done for, aesthetic purposes, and that we're supposed to be happy with that answer. But clearly it was something way more significant, significant that they were willing to malform their children's heads. That's pretty significant.
Exactly, but there are differences on the how do you call that? My God.
We can tell the difference between the hybrids and the ones that were malformed, can't we? Right? That's what you were saying about the
on the skull.
Right. That's what you were talking about.
Well, it's like, come on. It's like you can't see this. I mean, they ignored
that.
That
is the obvious case of, that is a,
yeah. So that's the reason why
it's not human, right? It's not human.
Yeah.
That's just saying. It's not, no,
they were fighting. They didn't want to show. They didn't want people to see this. So they were fighting. That's why they show up on the conference over there. It was a big scandal. They were about to start the conference with the American physicians sitting at the table and everything. And then the Peruvian authorities walked in. Where are the bodies? We have to take them. So what are you talking about? Oh my God, that was a big, I don't know if you saw that. That was live. They were showing that live. And then, that was, boy.
It's probably good that some bodies have been spirited out of the country. I was saying, if anybody wants the FedEx me one, I'll take good care of it, right? You want to FedEx me a little buddy, let me know.
Oh, imagine years from now, you have a museum with 40 of those in exposed. How much money?
Well, and even before that, there's going to be even myself, I have to put together some sort of educational package, right? People need to know about this.
Yes.
So these I would hope to see museums like this spring up all over the world, And not only that, it'll be easy too, because all you have to do is start going through your local museum collections of all the art you've pilfered from native people, and you'll see in the museums these pieces are there already, right? The tridactyl pieces are already in museums. Yeah. So
the other thing is, like, for example, like they got the samples of only 2 or 3 or 4 creatures. But now all the ones that are coming, they're going to be tested as well. So what if some are not 1,000 years? Maybe they are 5,000 years.
Well, I thought they were willing to say that she was several thousand years. I've heard conflicting. Yeah, you're probably going to see that. Yeah.
It's
and
just
even still, let's keep in mind, isn't that? I mean, we have the time that those beings died. We don't know how long they lived. Also, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I go as far to say that these beings may be specific deities from history. For example, Albert with the busted hip might be Hephaestus, aka Vulcan himself.
I like that.
They actually named one Artemis, which is interesting because Artemis would that would tie in. So you don't know if these are specific beings, which is kind of crazy.
The guy that found that his actual name is Leonel, but at the beginning he started to call himself Mario, so no one would know his real name. So that was the guy that was walking in the Andes, and he was the one that found, and then he wasn't telling no one until he finally found on his own, because he wasn't telling them as well too. But see, here's the thing: when he first picked up stuff, and him and his friend were like putting together some box where they were bringing them, okay, hidden, of course, during the night. There were heads. There were just the heads Okay, 3 or 4 separated heads, and then you have the hands cut off, like the ones that you see behind us right there. Those are just the hands. Okay, and it's just like, what were they doing? Why were they like were they sampling that for us to see in the future?
Yeah, I know. Was this like a gift or something? Here's all the stuff. How about those metal artifacts too? I had a translation for one of them. I said it could possibly say the word yo, which is another name for Yahweh. It's a shortened version of Yahweh, and it looks like it could be written with a rune.
Oh yeah.
Which would be out of place, right? A rune in South America when that's a European.
There are inscriptions on the bracelet that one of them have around the neck. What was the name of that? The one that they, what was the one of the ones that they just found?
Well, on the neck would be Surat.
Yeah, he's got a big bracelet around the neck.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't able to see any. Letters though, personally.
At the beginning, Josephine they were studying and they found a fractured T1 vertebra on the back. Okay, so they thought that because the vertebrae were fractured, that they did that frontal part to stabilize the joints. That the round ones that are connected, that big plate on the front. Yeah, the forensic physician was like, you know what, they did that so it could hold it together.
But the furcula is fractured though.
But it wasn't, because now every single one has metal implants. Now they have on the wrist. This one that's sitting down, I counted like 7 or 8 gold parts all around his body. It's just incredible. It's amazing. Like, it's got a lot of gold on that little body of his. And that's incredible. How maybe their body wouldn't reject the metal. See, they have a different constitution than ours, but it was complicated for us humans.
Yeah, their blood might be more, what as they said, sort of copper based, or a higher copper content, possibly.
Yeah. Because there was no like a big rejection effect. No, I was telling you about this Nureya TV. It's a YouTube channel from France. Okay. And this couple that they're good friends with Thierry Jamin, which is also a French guy, they came over to visit him. You know what he did? He took them to the tombs.
To the site? Oh my God.
Site.
Lucky bastards. Do they even know how lucky they are?
He said, you wait right there because I'm going to come back with another body. I said, okay. So they didn't go up there with him, but he went on his own. And no kidding, Ed, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, that movie, okay? And then all of a sudden he comes down. There is like sand and rocks all over the place, right? And it's really dark. He's carrying Nukari with him. And then he puts in the trunk of the car, and they were like, wow. His hands were like this. And like you see on the picture that I just showed you. And because it was like a pregnant, being, a female or whatever. I don't know if they were like.
Yeah.
So that was incredible. I was like, wow. I mean, I would like to see that place, but I understand you don't want people finding this place, man. I mean,
no, definitely not. Not until it's secure.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if maybe we can do this again sometime, and maybe come on my show, and we'll see if we can get some other people to join us and do a little round table. We met some great guys on the Discord chat that are like X-ray experts and paleontologists. So you'll probably get a kick out of them. Yeah. Of course, I deal with the weird cultural stuff that you can't really prove. It's all hearsay. Yeah. It's social sciences. It's the hearsay science.
Yes. Well, my pleasure, Ed.
That was great, man. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to go get a snack and a drink.
The next time you do that, bring pictures and movies or whatever, and then I'll catch some other stuff as well, too. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Live long and prosper, bro. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Peace out. Nice to meet you. Have a good night. Thanks for having me.
Don't lose on the game.